Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, and of course, welcome on back to another LEGO Mixels review for series number 3 of the LEGO Mixels. Today we're going to be taking a look at the second member of the Spikels family, and that is the one and only Footi, who looks very cool, and I think he would talk like this, because I don't know why. I just came up with that voice based on the way that this character looks. He just, I don't know, that's the voice that came to me when I was looking at him. But nonetheless, this is set number 41521. Of course, it comes with 72 pieces. So again, one of the larger sets. Overall, I noticed that series number 3 has larger sets in terms of piece count, which is quite interesting. Maybe it means that the LEGO Mixels are doing better than they expected, so they can add a little bit more details to them for the same price point, which sounds good to me. That sounds like really, really great news indeed. So of course, really standard packaging for the Mixels. Obviously, this is color-coded with the Spikels family, so they kind of went with the grayish and sand type color. When we flip the package over, we could see the remaining members of the Spikels Max, including, of course, Hoogie, who I have reviewed already. Today's review, Footi. And then, of course, Scorpy, who looks adorable, but I've yet to find him. So I'm assuming he's probably one of the most, if not the most, one of the most popular of the bunch. But he looks really, really neat. Looking forward to finding him and doing the review so that then we could do Spikels Max as well, which would be quite lovely. Which, of course, Spikels Max can only be attained by collecting all 3 of the Mixels from the specific Spikels family, and then each one of the families has the same type of thing going on. Like Glorp Corp, there's a Glorp Corp Max, Whiz-Tastics, there's a Whiz-Tastics Max, and so on and so forth. Now, of course, if you want to see all that and more information, go to lego.com/Mixels, and you'll be able to attain all that goodness. And speaking of which, I have done reviews for the Whiz-Tastics already and the Glorp Corp, so you could check those reviews out. And as I said before, I've already reviewed Hoogie, who was quite cool. Definitely not super duper neato, but definitely a good start for the Spikels family, so to speak. So, speaking of the Spikels family, let's go ahead and see what another member of the family is like, and that is Footi. So let's get him out of package assembled and take a look at Mr. Footi. Alrighty guys, so I've got Footi assembled, and he's quite cool actually. He's got a lot of personality, that's for sure, just like most of the Mixels, which is very, very neato. As you can see, of course, his big kind of obvious element is the fact that he is very, very spiky, which, considering he's from the Spikels, makes perfect sense, right? He's got this really cool mohawk thing going on, which is really, really quite lovely. And then he's got these really clawed feet. You definitely don't want him to step on your chest or give you a nice little, I don't know, maybe a stomping massage, because that would be quite painful. And I'm sure that the Mixels look out for that when they see this fella coming along. Now, the really cool element about him is that on his legs, he's got a ton of articulation. We've got the articulation up at the actual joint here, where the thigh, I guess, would be the hip, I should say. Then we've got an ankle joint and, a knee joint and an ankle joint, which is amazing. That is a lot of articulation, which is really, really nice to see, and allows you a lot of, obviously, mobility and such, and a lot of posability in terms of, like, you know, you could have kind of wide-legged stances of him kind of like, you know, as if he's swinging or trying to chase something. You could obviously have completely different variations of him via, for example, shifting this downward like so. And then you could have kind of this more like crab-like pose for him, which a lot of the Mixels can do. I'm not sure what else you could do. You could almost probably mimic these as his like other arms, kind of like, oh, this is actually kind of cool, right? Look at that. Kind of like shoulder spikes. So he doesn't have really legs. He would just kind of be like that. And then these would be kind of his other attacking forces above his, they're almost like shoulder cannons. That's pretty cool, actually. I just came up with that on the spot, and I kind of like that. I really like that posability. So again, it's really, really always awesome to get more and more posability, because obviously it's definitely a balance where, you know, like, you don't want to have too much posability to where then it just becomes overly obnoxious and it's no longer a toy. It's just like some I don't know, something. So I still like the amount of posability that is here. I think it's important, and they got it just right in the legs. Now, the arms, on the other hand, of course, as a result of that, do suffer. They only have the up and down motion, but they do have the little pinned arms, so you could stick things in there, like whether it be some sort of a weapon or whatever else. That's pretty cool indeed. Obviously, you might have noticed that I showed that he's got some chomping action. Looks like he's rocking 6 teeth. Oddly enough, his back teeth, I guess, the top jaw has more teeth than the bottom one. So I'm not sure what happened here. Obviously, they used the red bricks here to kind of create the idea or the illusion of a tongue. So he could be like, hello, everybody. My name's Footi, and I like to jump. Oh, no, sorry. Sorry, Footi. Sorry, I gave you a haircut. A mandatory haircut. But as you can see, Footi is quite cool. He definitely resembles some of the other characters, some of the other Mixels we've looked at before. So he's definitely not a very unique Mixel per se, which is certainly unfortunate. Like, would I have preferred him to be very, very unique and stand out completely? Yes, but I think he does have some elements that still differentiate him enough in terms of just color, which is cool. I like the kind of sandy colorization on these guys. It's quite neat. But more importantly, he does have all these really cool spikes going on, you know, on his head and on his legs and everything. And the mobility in the legs does give you a lot of posability to work with. So that's quite lovely indeed. So all in all, there you guys have it. That is the one, the only Footi. Hope you guys enjoyed this Mixels review. Of course, I still have to review Hoogie and Scorpy. Have yet to find him, but I decided to just do the reviews right now, and then once I find Scorpy, I'll do a review for Scorpy and then do the Spikels Max. But in the meantime, after I review Footi, I'm going to get back to Glorpcorp Max and the Wiztastics Max, so we'll get those out of the way and sorted out with. So thank you guys so very much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this Mixels review, please thumbs up the video. That really does help me out a ton. And of course, as always, don't forget to have a fantastic day, and I will see you later, folks. Alligators. Bye-bye, guys.